we have as our guest the Harwich Conservation Trust. And not only that, but after we finish our interview with the Harwich Conservation Trust, Michael's going to stay with us, and he's going to be the chairman of today's meeting of the Harwich
Community Journal.
Community Journal. So,
thank you for that.
yeah, well, we're
esteemed
glad to have you.
introduction. Yeah, it's great
Yes.
to be here. Yeah.
Well, so we're going to talk today about
Box turtle.
dogs, turtles, walks, and
The third
maybe
annual Wildlands Music and Arts Show coming up.
That's right.
Should we jump right into it?
Yes.
All right. Well, as always, we're thrilled to be here. Matt Cannon, our Land Stewardship Coordinator at Harwich Conservation Trust, and we're so glad to be on board. Thank you all for your work here, as well as Jamie and Caleb and Joyce and Florence and Jack and Eileen, and the whole crew. So really appreciate it. So box turtles. We'll just jump right into box turtles.
Box
You know those little sort of
yes.
grapefruit size, a little bigger sometimes.
And they're that big?
Yeah, they're about that big. They can be a
Yeah.
little smaller, softball sized, depending what you come across. But they've been on the move the past month
Last
or so.
Tuesday, when I went shopping, the bus took off, and as we moved our street, there was a big turtle, a bigger one, coming across the street.
What color was it? Was it a
It was a dark color.
dark color? Maybe snapper. Maybe a snapping turtle. Probably.
I don't know. They said that snappers have something in the back.
Long tail. Yeah, they have a longer tail. Yeah.
I don't know that I saw that.
Prehistoric looking, almost, right? So the turtles that we've been focusing on lately with our volunteers, keeping an eye out for them across Harwich, have been the eastern box turtle, which is a rare species. There's a good photo of one taken by Janet DiMattia, one of our volunteer photographers. And you see that domed carapace, the shell there, and some of that, just a hint from this angle, of that orange-yellow starburst pattern on the top. Now, that's different on every turtle, and it's just a beautiful mosaic of orange. There you go, is a better angle there. That's a female laying eggs, actually, excavating a shallow nest, depositing some eggs. And so you've got that orange-yellow starburst pattern on the top. Really allows them to blend in on sort of that sun-dappled pine oak forest floor. But where
you can't see them, right?
Yeah, and so where people have been noticing them mostly is when they cross either local roads or the bike path. And these are fairly long-lived species if given a chance, if they're not hit by a car. That's one of the most frequent causes of mortality. I mean, they can live to 80 to 100 years.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. And again, a rare species in Massachusetts, so we pay special attention. We love all our wildlife, but we pay special attention to the care and abundance of our rare species like these. And so Matt has been connecting with some of our volunteers to encourage them to let us know if there have been any sightings. You want to tell them a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. Later this spring, we just sent out a little informational newsletter saying, if you see these anywhere crossing the road in your yard, please let us know. We'll help fill out the paperwork to give to the state, because the only way the state can really know the population size and dynamics is by people, regular people, volunteers, reporting it to them. So we helped out with that, and we got probably 9 or 10 people who have submitted us pictures, told us where they are, and I've submitted that paperwork to the state. So keep it coming. If you see them, please let us know. Take a picture.
Yeah,
Is that an average number, or is that large, or is that small?
Well, we don't really know yet in terms of the sightings.
Yes.
Well, we don't quite know yet because this is really the first season that we've focused on this citizen science project for making observations in the field. Just people in their regular routines. If they see one, everybody seems to have one of these smartphones that has a camera feature.
Yes.
So we asked them to take a photo of the turtle that they see, just in their daily goings on, and send that photo to us. And like Matt said, he'll help fill out the paperwork and submit it to the state, and then they'll have a better sense of where these turtles are showing up and get a better sense of population distribution.
Now they move.
Yeah, particularly this time of year, especially
They're always
after
moving.
especially after a heavy rain. They'll come out, especially in the early morning, and look for their favorite food on the menu, which is slugs. And so, nothing like a slug first thing in the morning. So, and they'll eat a variety of other invertebrates, earthworms and other invertebrates. But they also have a fairly strong home range affinity. Okay, so from where they hatch, their home range might end up really being about an acre in size.
Wow.
But this time of year, when they're in search of dating and mating, they will go farther afield, and then they'll come back to their home range. So that's when they're out and about going farther afield, crossing roads, is when they're more at risk from unfortunate collisions with cars. I mean, you think of a turtle moving so slow, it can't compete with a vehicle
no.
moving at 20, 30, 40 or more miles per hour. And so if you do find one, what we do tell people, if you find one crossing the road, or I would say even the bike path, I'm amazed at how fast some people move along the bike path too.
Yeah. Oh, some of those bikers.
Yeah, super
Boom,
fast.
you're right by you.
So personal safety first, but if you can get out of traffic, pull over safely, then you want to pick the turtle up and move it to the other side of the road in the same direction it was moving. Just place on the other side of the road. It knows where it wants to go. If you take the turtle and bring it somewhere else across town to, say, a conservation area, that may seem like a good idea, but it's not. Because of their home range affinity, they will try to cross that distance wherever you've taken them to get back to wherever they originally came
where
from,
they wanted
where
to
they
go.
wanted to go.
Yeah.
And that puts them more at risk of mortality. So fascinating creatures. They've been with us on Cape a long time. Fewer of them among us because of development, not only losing their natural habitat, but also the network of roads across the Cape causing them a decline in population. So the properties that people are helping us preserve through their donations to Harwich Conservation Trust, their memberships, their annual gifts, their estate planning, are helping us preserve critical habitat. We have been working very hard at preserving areas that provide homes for a variety of wildlife, but especially rare species like these. So, yeah.
Now, what would be their natural habitat?
Pine oak woodland, sometimes a little bit more of an open understory. They'll like maybe a little wet area nearby, perhaps, but they're getting some of their moisture from not only the foods that they're eating. They'll eat berries in season as well, but also early morning, the dew on the grass, and the terrestrial turtle. So they're not an aquatic turtle, so they're preferring that more upland habitat. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So next we want to talk about walks.
Walks.
Yeah.
Some great walks coming up. We have this great partnership with Donna Wood Eaton, who owns Cedar Spring
Yeah.
Herb Farm. Such a unique destination, one of many farms across town. And she's has been leading a couple guided walks about the wild edibles and medicinal plants that are abundant on our preserved landscapes. And she's got one coming up on Thursday, August 13th at 10 a.m., and that's going to be at the Coysbrook Woodlands. Beautiful setting on this neck of woodland overlooking the Herring River marsh system, particularly Coysbrook, after which the site is named. Coysbrook is the major tributary to the Herring River. And so she'll be walking the pine oak upland trails, even winding through some red maple wetland, and perhaps taking a peek at some Atlantic white cedar wetland, and identifying those wild medicinal and edible plants. And then August 15th, let Matt say a few words about the walk we have coming up. These are all walks we ask people to pre-register for, so we have a sense of a head count prior. and we'll make sure we get everyone back
Now,
Yeah.
by the end of the walk.
she is
Yeah.
located off of Long Pond Road.
Her
so-
actual
Yeah.
farm is off of Long Pond Drive.
Yeah.
The one that extends between 137
You know, my
and
wife and I
124.
went there after we interviewed her one day.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So the actual walk will be on August 13th. Will be at Coysbrook Woodlands. You can go to our website, harwichconservationtrust.org, for directions, or just send us an email and we'll send you the info when you pre-register. But we got one coming up on August 15th too.
Saturday, August 15th, 10 a.m., Rich Eldred of the Cape Codder. I'm sure many of you have read some of his articles. He's a regular reporter for them. He'll be at Thompson's Field, walking the grasslands of Thompson's Field, especially this time of year. I don't know if anyone's been out there, but it's beautiful right now. There's milkweed out there, the butterfly weed. So that should be a great walk. He's done a few for us in the past. And that is Saturday, August 15th at 10 a.m.
Very good.
Yeah, we're very grateful for our walk leaders who are donating their time and expertise and introducing people to the outdoors.
And last but not least, we have
The Wildlands Music and Arts Stroll.
Wildland Music and
Oh
Arts
yes, third annual. Matt, you want to talk a little bit
Sure.
about
Third annual. Really excited for this year. Last year's event was a big success. We had about 300 people come to our Bank Street Bogs Nature Preserve. They're plein air painters from the Guild of Harwich Artists. There's musicians.
And the piano is still going to be there,
The
right?
piano will be there. So it was inspired by the piano found in the woods a few years ago. And that is the main attraction right when you walk in. We'll have a few piano players. That is the exact piano that was found in the woods.
Okay.
So they're one of the musical acts. We have about 10 artists from the Guild of Harwich Artists. And Tom Talismanic, Tommy T.
And I'll just offer a little background on that piano for a second, if we might flip back to that. So that piano in the woods, so-called, right? That emerged mysteriously in 2009 in the town's Bell's Neck conservation lands, right? 200 plus acres of beautiful woodland and wetland and open water surrounding the West Reservoir and East Reservoir, which is more brackish, but West Reservoir being fresh with Herring River flowing through. So this piano showed up in the woods with a piano bench situated right in front of it, as if somebody had just left it there after playing a concert beneath the canopy of oaks and pines. And so a walker happened upon it.
Nobody saw it being
No,
put there.
no, but dutifully called it into the police.
Yeah.
Police came out to investigate, and suddenly, for some reason, this image of the piano in the woods, particularly with one of the officers inspecting it, rocketed around the world on the AP and internet and CNN, and it was just a neat little story. Created this image of music in nature, and so what was the fate of that piano? Well, there was no home for it initially, and then the Harwich Historical Society took it in at Brooks Academy and have it there in their museum throughout the year. It's a beautiful piano. And then around that time in 2009, we had a wonderful volunteer named Mary Metzger who came up with this idea of creating a Wildlands Music and Art Stroll with the piano as a centerpiece. And it was all planned. We had it all set. And it rained like nobody's business for that day, and we had to cancel the event. So a couple of years ago, in our 25th anniversary year, 2013, we decided to bring it back to life. And the piano you see here is featured, and the rest that Matt described with different musicians. You'll hear more about it and what we've had in the past, what we hope to have in the near future, and the date and time. Want to talk about Wild Bill?
Wild Bill, he's a great live performer. I'm actually not sure. What instrument is that?
Ukulele,
Is that a
maybe.
ukulele?
I think, yeah.
It looks like.
Some kind of small,
It's a
small
uke.
stringed uke, yeah.
So we have a few. He was one of the. He's been there the last 2 years, and he's just one of the attractions throughout the bog. As you're going, you're seeing a few live pieces of art be played, and then you're hearing this music. That's Just Plain Folk, a local folk band. And it's really a nice experience. You're hearing music, you're seeing art, it kind of wades away, and then you see and hear more music and art. and I'm not sure who that one is, but you can see it's a beautiful event, and we're actually looking for a few more musicians this year. We have our artists set up, and September 19th, 1 to 4 p.m. at the Bank Street Bogs. And we'll have the local scoop ice cream will be there as a draw for some people.
And we think this is a nice bookend event to the town's Cranberry Harvest Festival, which is going on right up the street at Brooks Park, right? A lot of people in town, and you know, they're coming to both events and, you know, mixing, and it's just it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of wonderful sponsors: Cape Air Airlines, as well as Cape Destinations, NASA Disposals helping us out, Cape Cod 5 and Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod, and a number of other sponsors.
Robert Hour.
Robert Hour, yeah. So we've got a whole bunch really.
The usual.
Yeah, pulling together to make this event happen. And so stay tuned. We'll have an e-newsletter going out more about it as details emerge, and also we'll have more info at harwichconservationtrust.org.
Very good.
Yeah.
And now you have a meeting coming up.
Yes, we have an annual meeting coming up August 10th, generously sponsored by Wauquasit. That's a Monday. We're already full up.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Okay.
We've got 200 guests maximum, and this is the first time ever we have been full 2 weeks out, essentially, a week and a half out.
That's
and
very good.
yeah, it's amazing. And now we're starting a waiting list. So if you're interested in attending, you know, inevitably some people will cancel. It's a free event, but we need to pre-register so we can give Wauquasit a head count in advance.
Yeah.
But it would be great. Yeah, it's Monday in the evening, August 10th. But send us an email at hctevents@gmail.com if you're interested, and we'll add you to the waiting list. Or give us a call at 508-432-3997.
Do you have a long waiting list?
No, it just started.
Okay.
So, so yeah, it'll be fun. Our 27th annual meeting.